So in today's video, I'm going to talk about a problem that I believe we're all kind of dealing with in one way or another. It can be a real enemy to your happiness, productivity, and success. Okay, so what exactly am I talking about here? After some thinking and doing a bit of research, it's actually pretty obvious, but it took me some time to figure this one out. Anyways, I came to realize that one of my biggest issues in life is having expectations. Now, to be fair, it's not quite that simple, but I'll try to explain why I think that having expectations is not a good thing. To make my point, I feel like I first need to illustrate what an expectation actually is. Many times we try to explain something, but we can't really put it into words, so I try to simplify it as much as possible. So in its most basic form, having an expectation simply means that you're doing A in hopes to get B in return. A in this case is your investment. This could be time, effort, energy, money, generosity, and so on. B on the other hand is the return. The return could be many things as well, such as likes on Instagram, YouTube views, friendship, love, money, attention, and lots of other things that you may wish for. So this is really something we do all the time. We do nice things for other people and hope that they'll like us more for it. We work extra hard trying to impress others in hopes that they'll give us their time and attention. We put in a lot of effort and energy into our art, hoping that it'll get us more likes and followers. So we're constantly doing things wanting or at least hoping for something in return. Now this may not even sound like such a big problem at first, but it can quickly become one if you're emotionally invested in whatever it is that you're doing. So to prove my point that having expectations isn't always a good idea, I want to get a little bit more personal just to kind of illustrate my point even further. If we take Instagram for example, I get about 20,000 likes per post. And this in a weird way has become my metric for measuring the quality of my art, which in a way is very stupid because the amount of likes doesn't say anything about the quality of the things that I post. So for example, sometimes I do a very quick sketch. Maybe it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes, and that one blows up to 30,000-40,000 likes. Other times, I spend about 5 to 6 hours, and it only gets about 10,000 likes. So the likes are dropping 50% from 20 to 10,000, right? And there's no explanation. So here's the real problem though. Because the 20,000 likes have become my standard by which I value the quality of my art, I automatically think that everything that gets less than 20,000 likes is worse in quality. And so as I said, it could happen that a really quick sketch gets twice the amount of likes and something I've put a lot of effort into only gets half of the likes that I usually get. And so you see that this isn't a very good metric to go by. In fact, you shouldn't be using it at all because there's so many factors that could manipulate that number. And so the real issue here is that I take it personal. So I take that number, this arbitrary number, and I take it very personal. I start to question myself. There's self-doubt because I'm so hooked on this number. I'm so focused on it that if I don't reach it, I immediately jump to self-doubt. And that's where stuff like depression happens, you know? Like, so I'm not saying that you jump from self-doubt to depression in like one jump, but that's kind of the start of it, you know? And I've been close to it. Like, I've had times where I felt really bad just because I didn't hit my metrics. And so what it comes down to is the reason why I think you shouldn't have so many expectations is because if we look at all of these different things, these different areas in which we expect something, most of the time, if not all of the time, these things aren't in our control. So for example, if I do something nice for somebody else and I'm expecting them to like me back or to become my friend, you see, I only have under control what I do to them. I don't have their actions under control. So I can't make them like me. I can kind of inspire them to like me, but if they ultimately decide not to like me, there's nothing I can do about that. And for example, if I create this amazing piece of art, something I'm really proud of, and I upload it to Instagram, and I expect it to get 50,000 likes, you know, the only thing I have under control is creating that piece of art. I can't control the number of likes that I'm getting. I can't control the number of people that are getting to see my art. I can't control the number of comments I'm getting. None of that. All that's in my control is creating that piece of art and uploading it to Instagram. But there's one more thing that I have under control, and that is deciding what affects my emotion. For example, and really this is your ultimate superpower, and this is what this video comes down to. Deciding what you let affect your emotions. So for example, if I'm uploading something to Instagram, it's not getting the amount of likes that I'm expecting. Do I take it personal? Which is going to affect my emotions, and I'm going to feel down, I'm going to question myself, there's going to be self-doubt. Or am I just going to ignore it, push it aside, and I'm going to accept the fact that it just went wrong, but I'm not going to take it personal, and I'm not going to have any feelings because of it. And so one thing that also needs to be mentioned is that expectations themselves aren't really bad. Like, you should have expectations. If you're taking part in an exam, you should have high expectations of yourself. But there's the difference. When you're taking part in an exam and you have high expectations of yourself, then you are in control, like you are under control of yourself. You decide how much you're going to study and how much you're going to prepare for that exam. So whenever there's something you're not in control in, then don't have any expectations. If it's something you do have under control, then have expectations, and preferably have very high expectations. But if somebody else needs to perform, or if you're expecting something from somebody else, then it's best probably not to have any expectations at all. Going back to the example with YouTube, I had a video that was very successful, and I tried to replicate that with the next video. And quality-wise, they were identical. So the second video wasn't worse than the first one. They were pretty much the same, you know? But the second video didn't reach the same amount of people. So let's say, just as an example, the first video reached 100,000 people in one day. The second video only reached 5,000 people in one day. And now I start to question myself. And because I didn't hit that metric, because I didn't hit the 100,000 people in one day, I start to lose that motivation, that drive. And I stop creating videos because I'm thinking it's not worth it anyways. My videos aren't good enough. And it's only because of this one video. So don't measure everything. Don't analyze everything. Sometimes just go with the flow. Sometimes you just need to see where life takes you. Be open-minded and let life surprise you, you know, because sometimes the things that don't happen lead to something even better in the future. And also what I've learned is that many times we expect something that's unrealistic. So for example, many people, they go to the gym and they believe they're gonna see some results in about 2 weeks because they want that summer body, they want to look fit, healthy, and whatever. That's pretty unrealistic, making that happen in 2 weeks. So if you go to the gym and you watch these people, you won't see them anymore after those 2 weeks because they gave up on their plans because they had expectations that they didn't meet, because those expectations were unrealistic. So sometimes you need to give yourself time and be patient. Many things don't work out overnight, like they need time to happen. And that's kind of how I see it with Instagram and YouTube. So many people ask me, how do you grow an Instagram account? Should I start a YouTube channel? Is it worth it? And the only thing I can tell you is it's always worth it and you can always start, but it's not going to happen overnight. Well, most likely not. So for example, if you look at my current videos on YouTube, and this is one of the reasons why I'm creating this video, because this is something that I'm struggling with, they aren't getting the views that they usually got. And that's where self-doubt came in. And I was questioning myself. I was like, should I continue doing YouTube videos? Is it worth it? But it's definitely worth it. It just takes time. If you look at my stats, I haven't been active in months, so naturally my views are gonna drop. But if I put in the time and if I'm patient, then they're going to go up again. That's the hope that I have, but it's not an expectation. It's just something that I'm hoping for. Like it's a positive mindset. And there's a difference between having a positive outlook and having an expectation, because a positive outlook lasts much longer. I'm not expecting a certain result in 2 weeks. And if it doesn't happen, then my positive outlook just vanishes. No, my positive outlook tells me to just keep going and to trust in the good, you know? But having an expectation is kind of like a deadline. Like 2 weeks, if it doesn't happen, I'm giving up. I'm stopping this, I'm quitting. And that's kind of like the fine difference between the two. And I'm always trying to stay positive. And I know that if I keep going, if I keep uploading videos, sooner or later, my views are going to go up again. And yeah, it's just going to get better from there. But if I'm having that mindset of having expectations, then I'm going to be like, if my next video isn't going to get me 100,000 views, I'm quitting. So I hope you can see the difference. And I'm ranting here, I know. But yeah, this is something really important to me, and I think that we all have similar struggles. I always believe that we're kind of in the same boat, and we all have, the same little problems. Life isn't perfect for anybody, so that's kind of one of the problems I also have with social media. People only share the good stuff. We never get to see the bad stuff, you know, and that kind of makes us feel alone. It's very easy to think that you're alone with your problems because you see all this perfectness around you. You only see happy people on social media, good-looking people, successful people. And here you are with your problems and you're like, where did I go wrong? Why am I not happy? Why am I not successful? Why do I have these problems and all these people don't have them? When in reality, we all have the same problems. We are just like, some people are good at hiding them. That's all. So anyways, guys, this kind of wraps it up for this video. I hope you kind of enjoyed it, that you found it useful, and that you can kind of relate to what I'm saying here. Again, if you have something to say, leave a comment below. If you're not a subscriber yet, then please hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell. Give this video a like, share it with people, and as always, guys, I love you with all my heart and soul. Peace.